Shalom, shalom, akiyam. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kwadash. I would also like to give a double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 men of Israel, which consist of the servants, the prophets, whom have been ordained since the foundations of this earth to sing this new song, which comes in the form of this gospel, which would be preached throughout all four corners of this earth and rest upon the ears of the innumerable multitude, men, women, and children of Israel, who may be scattered throughout all four corners of this earth. It's just Bayan back again through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And I just wanted to get into a brief lesson, and Lord willing, share this article and a brief video with you, Akiyam and Akwath, you beloved Akiyam and Akwath. Tap it into prophecy, man. This is the time we're in. We're in a time where, these oracles, these tokens, these visions, okay, are not lying, right, in the form of these prophecies, man. Okay, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is making it plain upon tables regarding the times that we're in. All right, the devil that the Bible speaks of, whom is none other than Esau, Edom, the so-called white men in the form of the global elites, have been revealed. Okay, World War III, okay, is the talk of the town. All right, Jake is waking up. The Charagma, pursuing the Revelations 13 and 16 is on the scene. Okay, and Jacob's trouble is upon us, man. Okay, we're in the time of end time prophecy. We are at the door of salvation. All right, and this is what can one do but prophesy if you've been given the spirit to do so, man? So through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, before we tap into this article, let's go here real quick. Let's go to the book of 2nd Esdras. This is what we've been commanded to bring forth prophecy, man. Prophecy being what? The spirit of prophecy being the testimony of our Lord Yahweh Shai. All right? This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15 and verse 1, and it reads, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people." Who's the Lord's people? The Israelites, are so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, man. There will be Israelites that look like the other nations due to the scattering of Deuteronomy 28 and 64. This is not a color thing. All right? It's an Israelite thing. For you to be a spiritual Israelite, you got to go back to the stock of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Point blank, period. Your spirit will testify, okay, with the spirit, that you are a child of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, even though you look like another nation. You see, which you would be coined as a speckled bird. All right, these are the Lord's people, man. The Israelites and the Israelites only. Amos, the 3rd chapter, okay? "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord." You see, so we're speaking the Lord's words, man. This is Yahweh's doctrine. As Yahweh Shai said, his doctrine is not his. You see? So we're speaking prophecy into existence, man, being that it's the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And this is something that's not going to be able to be disannulled. All right? As much power Esau may seem like he has on this side, and authority and sovereignty, he's not going to be able to supersede or disannul or disregard or stall or deter any of these prophecies that come forth. And the phone chimed in. That's the spirit. Okay, as he's going to tell us in the next verse, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai's words are faithful and true, and caused them to be written in paper, which is the Bible, right? Which were originally what? They were scrolls. For they are faithful and true. Okay, so hey, make no doubt about it. If it's written, it's going to come to pass. All right? If it's written, it's going to come to pass. You see, because it's faithful and true. All right, and let's dive into this article real quick now. I came across this article yesterday, through the spirit. Early in the day, while just going through some information. And this article speaks volumes regarding, the times we we're in, specific prophetic pressure points regarding this beast system, and where this whole thing is heading, or what have you. And you got Jake with their head up their ass, being driven, all right, through the spiritual demon Satan to type on comment boards that, where we are in prophecy and what's not going to come to pass as far as Jacob's trouble. And well, here it is, you have your arch enemy in the form of Esau, okay, planning on stuffing you into a 15-minute city, man, if you make it that far. Okay? But you're going to be subjugated to the powers that be on the totalitarianism level, man. This is why, Jake, you need to just shut the hell up, man. Sit back and listen, take notes, and pray to the Lord that he opens up your mind to be able to receive these spiritual faculties, man. You Jakes don't know what you have in store. Anyways, let's get this article real fast, right? This is from Zero Hedge, and it's dated January 14th, 2025. And the title reads, "The War Behind the War. What World War III is really being fought over." Why are they talking about World War III? Because we're in World War III. As the brothers have been saying, we are in World War III. These are the beginning stages. But you see going on over there in Ukraine, okay, and Israel and Palestine and what have you. These are all building blocks, okay, to the gathering of the nations in the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, as you can read in the book of Joel, the 3rd chapter. You see, these are tokens and signs and building blocks to that time. This is where we're going, and as they say, all wars are bankers' wars, okay? Because ultimately, it allows them to gain more foot on the power. From a power standpoint, it allows them to gain more footing. From a global standpoint, pretty much it allows them to heap up to themselves more resources. And which resources, if you have control over the resources, you're in control, man. You see? And this is what these world wars allow, the bankers that be gain more foothold to. Bear with me. People can't drive to save their lives, man. But needless to say, we understand that this is the last war. This is the world war to end all wars. You see? This is what's going to bring on the salvation of Israel, man. This final world war. Esau's not going to climb out of the, he's not going to come out of the destruction like the phoenix bird. He's just going to appear out of the smoke and then continue his reign of terror for eons to come. No, it's not going to play out like that. This is it. This is it right here. You see that the stones coming to crush the feet of the statue that Nebuchadnezzar dreamed, that Daniel interpreted. Okay? The feet and toes of that statue being likened unto the NATO and the EU. Okay? This is where this thing is going. But anyways, let's get some of this article. All right, World War III, like all 21st century wars, is not being fought over ideologies. It's being fought over energy and natural resources, man. You see? Because again, whoever has control of the resources, you have control. Right? Because he who controls the world's resources will be free to impose whatever ideology he wants. And that's a true saying. Okay? But contrary to popular belief, Yahweh Shai is coming. All right, in the midst of this third world war, okay, with the host of heaven, and he's gonna get the victory. All right, and ultimately Israel is going to have control of all the energy and natural resources, man, because we're coming into the time of Jacob, and this is what the world doesn't seem to understand. Even if you tell them, it's a hard saying, because how is it that these feeble, okay, poor, in the sense of having no power in our hands, so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American men going to be on the power seat on the global world stage? How is that possible? It's going to be through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. But this is something they won't believe. If you told, you'll be laughed to scorn. We're being laughed to scorn with the testimony that we have regarding the gospel. This is why it's going to be such a I told you so moment. It's going to be such a wow effect when it happens. Because it's going to happen. You see, it's gonna happen. But anyway, let's continue on. All right, and it reads, Washington and London, the epicenter of the Western liberal world. And this should ring bells for, you brothers, as far as the talking point of Washington and London. And we understand when it comes down to those, what was that, Revelations? Is it Revelation 16? Going into the talking point of the three unclean spirits, those unclean frogs, if I'm not mistaken, the unclean spirits. You have Washington will be likened unto the, as a matter of fact, let's go get that. Washington will be likened unto the military, all right, part of this globalist power structure. And then London will be the financial sector. And then you also have, bear with me. Of course the tab closed out. Bear with me. I gotta make this maneuver. And then you have, what was it? London will be the financial. You have, they mentioned Washington, which is the military. And then you have the Vatican. The Vatican is the religious sector of this globalist trifecta of world power. Okay? Now when you go to Revelation, and this is prophecy, when you go to Revelations, the 16th chapter, bear with me. There it goes. Verse 13 is the point. But actually, I'm going to start at verse 12. And it reads, Revelation 16 and 12. And it reads, Revelation chapter 16 and verse 12, and it reads, And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof dried up. And this happened. This prophecy came to pass. You see? This prophecy came to pass, man. Why? Because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is gathering the nations, all right, over there in Syria, man. All right, where this is going to go down, right there in between the great river Euphrates and the Red Sea. You see? What the world will call the Fertile Crescent. You see, over there in the world will call the Middle East, right, which is Western Asia. This is where this thing is going to take off. You see? This is where it's going to go down. That's why the river Euphrates is drying up as we speak. This came to pass, man. Okay? Showing you how close we are to this day. Right? That the way of the kings of the east, see that, might be prepared. You see that? That's why you see what you see going down over there in the east. The great and terrible day of the Lord comes being prepared. Continuing on. Revelation 16 and 13, it reads, And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon. Okay? And the dragon, that Western Roman Empire, was the dragon, but we got the revival of that fallen Western Roman Empire, which comes in the form of this Western hegemony, man, which consists of the NATO and the EU. You see, the European Union, right, and the NATO, which is the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. And they've come together, and guess what? This power structure is this dragon, the dragon of present day, consisting of those 3 unclean spirits like frogs, which is, again, like the article is going into, Washington being the military sector, London being the financial sector, and the Vatican being the religious sector of this globalist trifecta. You see? And out of the mouth of the beast and out of the mouth of the false prophet. See, so this is heavy prophecy, man. This article It's tapping in. Bear with me. You see? Let's continue on. It says it's the epicenter. And when you get this word epicenter,
epicenter,
right? It goes into what? The central point of something, typically difficult or unpleasant situation. So it's the center point. You see? Showing you that Revelation 16 is speaking volumes regarding this dragon. Okay? Bear with me. Khan. So it's the central point. You see? Showing you that Revelation 16 is speaking volumes, man. Regarding this dragon, as I just mentioned, as I just recently said. Now, let's go back. Let's read a little more here. Bear with me. Just in there park real quick. All right, here we go. So continuing on in this article, Washington and London, the epicenter of the Western liberal world order that thinks it's admirable and virtuous to redefine God-created genders and appropriate to unleash deviant transvestites on innocent school children, is seeking to neutralize the massive resources of Russia as it ramps up its net zero sustainable development model of economic progress. See, so it's known, okay? The foundation of this place over here on the west, it's known as far as where their power generates from. This is not a secret. You see, it's not a secret that this place was birthed out of the UK. All right, same as those small hats, those 1948ers, as the world calls them. All right, they were birthed out of the UK as well. You see, this is no surprise. This is not a secret. Look at this economic model is really just a scam designed to pilfer what remains of the middle class and further subjugate them under AI-powered government corporate control. Hence the need for more massive data centers, which DT, right, is being used to build across the United States with $8 billion in foreign investment from a billionaire in the United Arab Emirates, right? And that's the spirit, because there was a video that popped up on my feed yesterday on YouTube going into this very same talking point, all right? And the individual's name I can't remember, but Trump is going to mention it in this brief speech, all right, ahead of the inauguration that's soon to come. Listen to this.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be with you. Many things are happening that are exciting, very exciting for our country. And we're honored to welcome one of the most respected business leaders in the Middle East, indeed the world. He's a founder and chairman of Damac Properties, Hussein Sajwani, a very respected gentleman. And I'm thrilled to announce today that Damac will be investing at least $20 billion over a very short period of time into the United States, and they may go double or even somewhat more than double that amount of money. It's a great thing, and I believe he will say that he's doing it because of the fact that he was very inspired by the election. They wouldn't do it without that election, I can tell you. A lot of people wouldn't. You saw last week where we have somebody who's going to go from $100 to $200 billion, and we have many other people, and we'll be bringing some of them out. Some of them like to do it somewhat more quietly, and some don't, and they feel so strongly about the country that they want to let people know about it. But it's an honor to have such a great investor investing in our country. The investment will support massive new data centers across the Midwest, the Sun Belt area, and also to keep America on the cutting edge of technology and artificial intelligence.
So as you can see, this thing is going technocrat. And hey, the elders and apostles and the men on down have been warning you, Jake. This thing is going technocracy. All right, this is going to be a government ran off of technology. Your fiat currency is going to be no more. Where is this going to lead the future? Revelations 13:16. This is where this is going. And when you tap back into this article, it's highlighting that. All right, and this is information we already know. Look at the surveillance state cannot be built out without these data centers scooping up, processing, and storing highly personal information on every citizen, right? But when you get into the nuts and bolts of this, you're gonna have a device in you. You're gonna have to become part of the Internet of Things. And it's gonna be deeper than you having some phone. No, this has to be subdermal. You have to be part of that system in order for this diabolical plan that they have to work. You see? Look. But Trump is either too dumb to know this. He knows this. This is obviously, he's working for the powers that be, right? But Trump is either too dumb to know this or doesn't care because he is blinded by a naive belief that without an expanded AI, America will lose its global hegemony. That's just, he knows. He's working for the powers that be. Look at the modern technocratic state is going to be based on energy and carbon credits. Fiat currencies will become a thing of the past if these global predators succeed in their plans for one world surveillance state where freedom of movement becomes a distant memory, man. Right? Exact. This is the reality. This is Revelations 13:16. Matter of fact, let's go get the book of Revelation, chapter 13. Right? In verse 16 it reads, and he causeth all, and who's he? The powers that be. The globalists, man. These international banking families, man. And he causeth both all, small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, man. All right, and this mark is going into the charagma. All right, we go into this all the time. We're not going to go crazy. You know, there's lessons on it. For you new listeners, got to go search these things out. There's breakdowns on it, but we'll tap into it briefly. You know, Revelations 13:16, when you get this word mark, G5480.
Strong's G5480. Charagma.
Right, it goes into what? A stamp, right? Or an imprinted mark. You see? It's subdermal. It has to be imprinted. Look at of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the anti-Mashiach. And there's many anti-Mashiachs. You see? Yeah, it's a stamp. You're right. It's a mark in the form of the chip. Right? It can go in either hand. Right? And the forehead is that's that Neuralink technology, which is all that's part of the MOTB as well. You see? And it is a badge of the followers of Esau. Okay? And there's more than just one anti-Mashiach. There's many. Okay? There's many anti-Mashiach. All right, 1 John, the 2nd chapter. All right, there's a little more. Look at the mark branded upon horses. And when a horse is branded, what does that represent? That represents ownership. Okay? If you've been branded, you've been categorized as property. You see? If you've been branded. And this is what this thing represents. This chip is going to put you on the level of a idol worshiper, okay, to this system. And you are completely pretty much bowing down to the system. You're saying you're representing this place as your power, as your God, right? Faint, carved, sculpture, graven work, right? It goes under the skin. It's subdermal, right? Of idolatrous images. See, so it's an idolatrous image, man. So you're committing what? Idolatry. Okay, spiritual fornication, which is gonna be punishable by what? Pursuant to the laws. That's a capital offense. All right? And there's a penalty for it pursuant to Revelation 14, man, where you individuals are going to end up upon receiving this thing. And when you go into the root word, it goes into karax. All right? Which, bear with me.
Strong's G 5482. Charax. Charax.
Right, which just goes into the delivery system. Okay? Pill is stake, palisade. Right? Palisade. If you look up a palisade fence, it has a taper to it, like a syringe. Okay, and this is what this delivery system is likened unto. It's the karax, that palisade. That's the delivery system, man. You see? As a matter of fact, bear with me. Okay, here you have it. You see? You have the charagma, which is the device, right? That imprinted mark, right? That idolatrous image. And then you have the karax, which is that palisade, which is the delivery system. You look up a palisade fence, it looks just like the tip of that syringe. Okay? And this is what it is, whether you believe it or not. This is the reality. You see, and this is where this thing is heading. All right, pursuing biblical prophecy, man. And it's unavoidable. All right, this is why it's a talking point in an article. You see, because this is what's coming to the surface. See, prophecy is speaking. It's speaking. Matter of fact, let's close out right here. If you haven't been given this, the eye salve, you won't see it. But it's speaking. The scriptures are speaking. The prophecy is speaking, man. And the men of the Lord are bringing it forth. For those of you that hear or forbear, it's going to be brought forth. Let's see here. Let me start from verse 1. Yeah, let's start from verse 1. The book of Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 1, and it reads, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower. And this is what we're supposed to be doing as men of the Lord. We're supposed to be on our watch. We're supposed to be paying attention. We're supposed to be meditating through the Spirit, praying as well as fasting at a high level in efforts to have that divine communication between us and our power, to be directed to bring forth his testimony, right? And we'll watch to see what he will say unto me and what I shall answer when I am reproved, man. See that divine communication. All right? Oracles, man, unto the Lord. The servants, the prophets, man. Look it. And the Lord Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision, which is the prophecy, and make it plain upon tables, man, that he may run that readeth it. See, but you got to have eyes to see, and you got to have ears to hear, or you're not going to be able to run when you hear this testimony be brought forth, or when you read it and get it broken down to you properly. Habakkuk 2 and 3. But regardless of that, regardless if you get it or not, look it. For the vision, the prophecy, is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So the prophecy is going to come to pass, regardless of what anyone says or thinks or assumes, or their idea or thought on something. The prophecies that are written in these scriptures are going to come to pass, and we're in the time of the final prophecies, man. Okay, we're looking at the final prophecies in the form of what? Jacob's trouble, the charagma, which is Revelation 13:16, being brought forth, and this draconian system being erected for a short period of time, and then World War III, man, and then salvation. This is where we're going, man. Salvation for the elect of Israel. You see, so we here, Akiyam and Akwath. Hey, Lord willing, you were edified. I got to get out of here. I'm out of time, Salakia. But through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, hey, Lord willing, you Akiyam and Akwath were edified. Hey, stay prayed up, fast as well as pray. All right, hey, we're on our way to salvation, Akiyam and Akwath. Shalom. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak, Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where our length is 144% truth. Shalom, beloved Akim and Akwab, Shalom.